Hey everyone, welcome to App Trades. I want to show you another great app to get you guys started in investing. This one's called Acorns. It's much more simplistic than other app trades like Robinhood or Stash. The whole premise of this app is basically two things. One is what you deposit and how often, as well as its roundup feature. And what that is whenever you go out and you have your credit card or debit card tied to this account, you make a purchase, Acorns is going to round up that purchase to the next dollar and invest that money for you. So you can see on my list here, I did a $21.57 on Amazon, and it rounded up to 43 cents to make that a $22 purchase. And then it deposited that into my Acorns so it can be invested. Same thing with Chick-fil-A. I had 7.75. Then Acorns rounded it up 25 cents and deposited it into my investing in Acorns. Now, the main performance of this app is relative. You basically have 5 options. It's very vanilla. There's not a whole lot going on with it, which is why I said it's much more recommended for people who are brand new. I still use it despite having other trading apps because I like the fact that it does do the roundups. But you basically have 5 portfolio options. You can have a conservative option, moderately conservative, moderate, moderately aggressive, which is what I'm at, and aggressive. And how these portfolios are defined, they have the same individual investment options in each portfolio, but how much they put into each investment is dependent on which of these styles you want to go into. So you have large company stocks, small company stocks, emerging market stocks, real estate stocks, corporate bonds, and government bonds. Now, let's say you want a very aggressive portfolio. You want to make money quick and you're willing to accept some risk. You would go with the aggressive portfolio, and a majority of your money would be in real estate, emerging market, and small company stocks. And we'll see if I can't bring it up, of course. But roughly 30 cents of every dollar invested will purchase the real estate stock. And another great thing, which probably a lot of people don't mention with Acorns, it does fractional shares. What that means is all these securities that they're buying, the real estate, the income, and all the stocks are going to be at a fraction of the actual price. It's not going to be like you're buying Apple for $100 a share. It's going to be you're buying Apple for $5 and you're buying a fraction of that share. And that's how the wealth grows. You're only buying fractions of that stock. And it'll still mimic what the stock does. It'll just do it at a much smaller level. So you could still invest with this app and make money, and you don't have to go out and buy and spend these, high dollar triple digit stock numbers or prices. So that's something that makes this app really stand out. And like I said, it's very simplistic. You have a very simple graph here. You can see on this one, basically what I did is I was trying to find a way to pay down some credit debt aside from, going to work, doing overtime and stuff like that. What this app allowed me to do is just take every paycheck I get, just put a little money aside, and then pick one of these 5 portfolios styles that I want to go into, and then just let it go from there. So once I had my debit card tied in, every paycheck would come out, and then every time I use my debit card, like if I go to Starbucks, if I go get fast food, if I buy something online, whatever, it'll take that extra spare change. It's change. We're talking pennies here, and it'll invest that as well for me. And with this app alone, my end of year for 2016, it said it invested $280 of roundups, which means it took $280 worth of spare change and it invested it for me. So that's amazing to me. Like, people don't think spare change can make you money. This app clearly proves them wrong. How I invested with this is I started out and I was doing small contributions, working my way up little by little, climbing the ladder. And really, this is a passive app. You don't have to really be actively managing this. But as the money goes up over and over and over, I got to a point where I hit this $1,000 mark. And I was like, great, I could pay off one of my cards with one payment. And that's what I did. And then I started from zero again. And then you know what? I still got debt. I still got other things I got to pay off. So I just started it up again, started putting in the money little by little and letting it grow. And it's still growing right now. And right now I'm at 717.90. And maybe when I get to 1,000, I might pull that money out again and pay off something else I need or buy something that I need. That's the great thing about this app. If you put your money in a savings account, you'll get like 0.01% return. You hardly won't get anything. You could argue that your money's safer, but the investments that this app puts your money in are relatively safe as well, and they're backed by high-end securities. But the main thing is you get a better percent. So on this, I get 3.4%. Now, it's not a great percent to have on a portfolio, but for what this app is, how simplistic it is, how easy it is to set up. I mean, you could literally set this up in the time it takes you to get a coffee at Starbucks waiting in line. And as soon as you swipe that card, you could, be putting cents into your account and start investing. That's how easy this is. But I wanted to show you guys this. This is like entry level investor stuff right here that can get you going, get you invested, and get you ahead of the game. Everybody's always looking for other ways to come up and make money, and this is a great option that does not take a lot of work. It literally takes a few minutes to set this up, and you're on your way. You don't have to think about it anymore. It'll even walk you through how to set it up and which portfolio you want to get, whether you want to do conservative. Usually conservative, you're typically someone's going to be a little older. You're going to be more scarce with your money. You're living on a fixed income, so you can't afford to take risk. If you're someone a little younger than that, you might go moderately conservative. If you're middle, you might go moderate. If you're younger, moderately aggressive. And if you're like a teenager, early 20s or whatever, and you're just ready to go hit the ground running, you can go aggressive because you have time on your side to make these decisions. So I wanted to share this with you guys. It's a great app, and it's something that, I've talked to a lot of people about. Like my friends have gotten into it, and they've used it for their needs, and, they love it. It's so simple. It's easy to use. It's a great app. So if you guys like this stuff that I'm putting out, just click like, subscribe, help out this channel. I want to do more and more to inform you guys on ways that you can make money on the side without doing much work, so we can all benefit. We can all share these resources and videos and help each other out. So let's help everyone out, man.